Hey guys, this is Rohit and hope you all are doing great. So if you guys own a Redmi Note 10 series of device like I have the Redmi Note 10 Pro here with me, I'm sure you might have heard about the infamous proximity sensor issue that has been circulating all throughout the internet for the last year or so. You know, the one where we have the phone placed next to our ear when we are taking a call and we expect the phone screen to turn off, only to find out that it's still on. And I get it, it's really annoying at some times because that might lead to some accidental touches or trigger some actions that we don't intend on doing in the first place. So in today's video, we are going to find out if there's actually a solution to this particular problem. But before we do that, what if I told you guys that there's no proximity sensor to start with? Surprised, right? Now don't worry, I promise to explain every single thing in this video, so definitely watch the entire video. And without any further ado, let's get started. Alright, so what is this proximity sensor to even start with? Well, as the name implies, it's actually a sensor that can detect how close or how far away a particular object is from this particular sensor. Typically, it's used to detect if you're holding your phone next to your ear when you're taking a call, or in other cases, it might work in parallel with your ambient light sensor or the selfie camera to detect if your phone is inside your pocket. And in such cases, it turns on something called the pocket mode to prevent unnecessary touches to the phone when it's inside your pocket. And that is actually a very useful thing. So how do you know if your phone has this proximity sensor? Well, the easiest way is to check the top region of your phone's display with a camera. So let's open up the dialer and make a quick call. And now if we check the top portion of our phone's display, see that tiny pulsating LED over there? Well, that is the proximity sensor. Now obviously you won't be able to see this sensor through your bare eyes because it's infrared, but that is something that the camera sensors can detect, and that is why you're able to see this on your screen. Now this is my OnePlus 9R and I know this one has a proximity sensor. But what about my Redmi Note 10 Pro? Let's try to make a call like before, and as you can see there is no pulsating LED on the top portion of the display. So does that mean that the Redmi Note 10 Pro doesn't have any proximity sensor? Now obviously we can't conclude like that, can we? So what are the other ways of finding out? Well, there are some apps in the Google Play Store that can help in these aspects, so let's quickly check them out. One of these apps is called CPU-Z. It can detect your processor, your chipsets and so much more, but we are here to find out about the proximity sensors. So let's go over to the sensors page, and now if you scroll down, you'll see something called Xiaomi proximity. Now something to keep in mind is that if your phone has a particular sensor, you'll see some values underneath the names like these ones. If nothing is shown, it probably means that you don't have the sensor. Now back to Xiaomi proximity, do we see any values? No, we don't, do we? So again, the odds of having a proximity sensor is kind of against us at this point. Okay, let's try one more app. This one is called Sensor Test. And if it isn't quite obvious by the name, this app is used to test if all the sensors of your phone are working fine or not. So let's head over to the proximity sensor, and now if you tap this icon right here, it tells you how to test out the sensor. Okay, let's try to cover up the front of the screen. See, nothing happens. The bulb stays on just like it was before. Okay, now let's switch over to my OnePlus 9R. And as you can see, the bulb is turning off once you bring your hand close to the top of the screen. Okay, so now you guys know that your phones do not come with a proximity sensor. But how is it possible that sometimes when you're taking a call, the phone screen does manage to turn itself off? Well, let me tell you guys that Xiaomi did manage to pull off this functionality using a very clever mechanism. So let's talk about that. Alright, check this out. If you lay your phone flat on a table during a call and try to cover up the top of the screen, nothing happens. But look closely at what happens if you tilt your phone like this and then try to cover it. Boom, the screen does turn off. Okay, so from this tiny experiment of ours, we can conclude the fact that our phone uses its front selfie camera, a combination of its accelerometer and the gyro sensor to find out if it's tilted like so, and if the case is during a call, it will turn off the display to prevent unnecessary touches. So just as you found out, this is no rocket science at all, but a clever use of the phone's hardware and the software to mimic the functionality of the proximity sensor. Alright, some of you may think that how is it possible some phones manage to pull off this functionality quite well, while others are simply struggling. Well, all I can say is that it is totally dependent upon your phone's hardware and the software and how both of these two are optimized, so bear that in mind. Alright, so that's about it for this video, and I really hope you guys enjoyed watching it. If you found this video useful, definitely hit that thumbs up button, share it among your friends and family, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you're new here. So this is me Rohit signing off. I'll see you guys in the next video, and thank you so much for watching.